Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Cancer, tonight we have the Nine of Wands, which has everything to do with strength, right? Even in the vast and wild currents of our life, right? These things that are just shifting here and there and everywhere, you can imagine. And I'm thinking in my head of like somebody out in the middle of a wild river, standing with waders on, right? Fly fishing. Okay, standing strong and firmly while still being able to partake in your art, whatever that is, and doing it well. That's that energy right there. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to knock and see what these tea leaves have to tell us tonight. And I want to tell you thank you for deciding to click on this reading. It is absolutely my honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And I really appreciate you sharing your time with me because we know it is the most precious thing we have, our time. So thank you for accepting my readings and thank you for being so generous with your time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, not the first thing I saw, but definitely stands out to me. We have right here, it looks like a grandmother or maybe kind of that old crone witch looking archetype. You can see the head here, see the body here, kind of wearing a dress, a little bit whiter, and reminds me almost kind of, oh my gosh, what is that? What is that book? It's the Nona book. It's an Italian children's book. Let's see, the Nona, is it Haganona? No, Nona book. Strega Nona. That's what it is. Yes, kind of reminds me of, and I don't think I'm allowed to show you the picture, maybe not, but look her up. It's a great book. I got it for my daughter randomly at a library sale, actually. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it, but I'm going to anyways because I can show the card, so maybe I can. I don't know. But here we go. I'm going to show you on here. Here she is. Okay, look her up. And it's spelled Strega, Strega Nona, Nona. Okay, look the book up. It's a gorgeous book. And this image completely reminds me of this archetype, of this beautiful, beautiful book and the crone, really. So next to her, we have, it looks like a vessel for some kind of, maybe liquid, or maybe it's a pot or a cauldron or whatever. And above, it looks like we have a bird flying. So we have a message. We have a message to share. Okay, so I do feel like in this time, you are very focused on, I feel like, developing something to say or something to express. Now, maybe you are a creative person, an artist, a writer, something along these lines. And maybe you're working on your next project. You're researching, you're finding materials, you're finding your inspiration and so on. Now, this might be something else, right? I feel like this could be about self-development, about, kind of finding your way into this next cycle, fortification of self, finding your confidence so that you may stand on business, right? Showing up to the dang old thing and being ready, and I think that's really what a lot of this is about, is that you are wanting to be heard. You're wanting to be seen. You're wanting to be heard. You want to be taken seriously. And I feel like this energy is not anything new, but I think it has been renewed. Okay, I feel like coming into this year, it's kind of like the reminder. It's like the kick in the butt that's like, okay, let's get going again. Come on. We made some real strides forward last year. Now it's time to really, really get to work. Okay? And so I feel like this is a big thing for you. Now, at the same time, we have over here, it looks like the jester, okay? Or maybe the fool. And next to a cat, right? This cat over here. And I feel like in this context, there's almost this kind of, and the cat, I think, represents fear here because of the way that its back is arched. You can see right here, and here's the head and the tail and all that. The back is arched. The fool or the jester kind of, in this case, really represents inhibition or being inhibited, right? I feel like for you, it is really difficult to let go of your kind of meta perception of self. What is that? I know it's kind of a confusing meta perception. It is how we think other people perceive us, and we operate off of that, right? We maybe know it's not true at all, but we internalize how we think other people perceive us, if they say that to us or not. How many times in your life have you met somebody or been close to somebody, or, and hey, it might even be like your own parents, right? And you think, okay, they're always yelling at me. They're always talking down to me. They're never like, they choose my brother first or my sister first or whatever. They don't have no, confidence in me. And so you internalize what you believe that they feel about you. And you operate in a zone that is, well, purely assumption, really. And that is very limiting. It's very limiting. And so I feel like for you, the work here is a lot about letting go of the anxiety of how other people perceive you. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want people to think, I'm not a serious person, or I don't know what I'm talking about. Can you imagine how freeing it is to just say what you are thinking or what you're feeling? Now, this might not be always the best plan, right? Sometimes it can be kind of detrimental, especially if, you consider we don't always feel how we're feeling, right? Like my thoughts about something at 10:30 at night after a super long day probably don't always match how I feel about something at 6 in the morning after I've slept and I worked out and I am fully hydrated and I'm feeling good. Those two opinions might be very different. And to cling to the one when I'm tired and grumpy and want to go to bed might not be in my best interest, right? So I feel like the work for you really is. It's about letting go of some of those constraints. Not being worried. Who cares what they think? Who cares? I know, we all work on it. Constantly. I know I do. I care too much, even about people I don't even know. I care what they think. Well, even with this channel, of course. When I get mean comments or people say weird stuff, especially, here's the one that really affects. It's not so much about even how people perceive me, but when they say things about like my husband, Paul, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. You know, they say something about him, or they say something mean about the two of us, about our relationship. And I let it get to me. I find that these are sensitive places, but who cares what they think? They don't know us. Who we are here in these readings is not who we are privately. Let me tell you that. You know? Who cares? Even if we were, who cares? But it's not easy. We all struggle with it. Some days are better than others. And I see you really awakening to how limiting living that way has been. Because it is. There's so many things, so many opportunities, so many moments of beauty that we miss because we're worried about things that we're not in control of, like other people's opinions. So, we also have the fish down here. And I believe that as you break free, as you make those strides towards just doing what you want to do, this will add to your ability to make money, for money to flow into your life. Now, it might even be that you're saving money. Maybe you're not going all the heck out of the way to please others. For me, I mean, I'm just immediately just was thinking like, well, maybe it's like, I don't feel like I need to wear designer clothes anymore. Maybe I'm just going to wear whatever I wear. You know, maybe I stop paying a bunch of money for makeup or whatever. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna have like a El Natural era or what, maybe I decide next time I get a car, it's not gonna have to be some balling out thing. I'm just gonna get what works for me, what makes sense. So it could be that you're saving money. It could be that you're making more money through this shift in your attitude about yourself and how you operate. Okay? Now, we also have snakes. Snake right here. Another snake right here. I feel like there are a fair amount of naysayers in your life, of people with poison tongues. Now, I know that you already realize this. I know that this is nothing new to you. But I feel like in this cycle of time, you're not putting up with it anymore. This might be the cutoff year for for Cancer. This might be that year where you say, no more. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. You speak to me with your forked tongue. You talk about me. You lay in wait. You try to, sabotage. You are telling private business. You're waiting for me to stumble so you can get in there. No. You are driving the serpents from that land all the way out to the ocean. No more. You will not surround yourself with people who don't care about you. You will not surround yourself with people who, let's face it, they're opportunists. They're looking for their end. They're looking for a way to get something, right? And we all have these people. We all have them in our lives. You happen to have quite a few. And I see you really getting rid of that energy. And I think that will really, really help with this other work that you're doing. Not caring what people think anymore. Can you imagine if you start to realize, like, all these people around me, like my friends I've had since college, and, you know, some of my family, and maybe people from work, and they're all very superficial, and they're all trying to, like, you know, get their bag. Like, everybody's trying to get their bag, but they're willing to do whatever. They're willing to do the dirt, right? And you start awakening to the fact that you don't have to deal with that energy. I don't have to have that in my life, and I won't. So you walk away from it. And you start to realize where I have been limiting myself because I don't want people to think poorly of me or think I'm, you know, weird or eccentric, or I'm not smart, or I'm, you know, making bad choices or whatever. And you realize all these people I cared about what they thought, they were too busy scheming anyways. That's their whole MO, scheming. Because they can't build their own selves up. They got to get underneath somebody else to try to crawl on up. Not here. Not now. Not this year. Not during this cycle. No, you will not be having that any longer. Out of here. And now, we also have up here the deer. And to me, the deer always represents the divine. Having a revelation, right? Having a moment with God. Having a moment with the divine. If you've heard my readings, I always use this vision, this imagery. Walking through the fields into the tree line, and you get into the forest, and you're walking, and you can hear the birds and the wind and the leaves and the little twigs kind of breaking beneath your feet. And you see, oh, there's like a little meadow up here. And you start to walk towards it, and you get to the edge of it, and you're walking into it, and you stop. Because you are met with, on the other side of the meadow, a beautiful deer. And it stops, and you stop, and you look at each other. And this moment, you know you are with God. You are with the divine. You are with that most sacred deer. And here you are. What do? Are you going to kill the deer? Are you going to hunt it? Are you going to chase it through the woods? Are you going to approach it with love and openness? Do you see it and you think, maybe not for me right now. Hello, dear, have a nice day. And you walk the other way. All of these are valid responses, and there are more, right? Whatever you can think of. But these feed into the different archetypes that you might be needing to activate. So if you are going to hunt that thing, if you are going to meet it, face to face, and, you know, butt heads like two stags, you know, going to town there, the warrior, the fierce warrior, right? Now you meet it with love. Maybe this is more of the mother, the high priestess, and so on, right? It might be just the fool, right? You're just like kind of dancing and skipping and, you know, oh, hello. You share a nice drink of mead together, and you go along on your journey. You know, it's whatever it is. But what's important is that you know you're having a spiritual revelation in your life right now. And that's why things are changing. That's why you are changing. All right, let's take a look. We have a bird. And again, with the serpent energy. I know. Is this an advertisement for dove and serpent? We have the bird. So we do have, just again with the revelation, because we have the candle of illumination, which is all about revelation and eyes opening, right? Being able to see in the dark. But we also have the serpent, so it is wisdom and kind of this information being bestowed to you. So I do feel almost like if you are somebody who partakes in prayer, meditation, some kind of communication with your ancestors, your elders who have preceded you, I feel like this is a good time to be communing, to be making appeals, asking for guidance, because it will be there. They will abide. So I feel like really doing the thing. Like if you sit at the end of your bed and you talk to God, talk to Jesus, talk to your grandmother, whoever it is, I feel like this kind of actual physical world ritual, not just like you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that's a good idea and I wonder what they have to say to me. No, go and pray. Go and ask for the guidance. Go light a candle, set their picture out, talk to them, go visit their grave or whatever it is. However you commune, meet them in your dreams, do some active imagination, whatever it is. There's something there for you. Go looking for it. Okay? We're going to do 3 lucky numbers. I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 times. We have 21, number 21. Ooh. 74, okay, 21, 74, and 48. All right. Now we're going to finish with our self-care affirmation cards, and I'm just going to go ahead, flip through, stop where it feels right. And it is Sacred Knife. Truth is my sacred knife. I cut away anything that is not in alignment with my values. As I sharpen truth, I become my highest ideal. I become my highest ideal. And I feel like this totally resonates with, coming to the realization that you have people in your life that just don't have your best interest in mind. We don't have to live like that. We don't have to include these people in our lives. So sometimes, we have to get that knife of truth out and cut away the things that do not belong. And that's not easy, but it is most necessary. All right, Cancer, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to like the video, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I'm just going to kind of wrap up quickly here because I can feel my voice is going to give out real quick. I've been sick, so it just, it's not working for me the greatest. But I do appreciate you spending this time. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to leave a comment, if you want to email me, if you're looking for a private reading. I don't really talk about that a lot in these general videos, but I do private readings. You can check out the information in the description. Other than that, I want to say again, I love you. Take care of yourself. Good night.